Has anyone ever told you that they like broccoli, but they just don't think cabbage tastes good? Well, now you can rest easy knowing that you were justified in telling them that they were wrong, and you have the facts to prove it. You see, there's this plant that's essentially the great grandfather of a few different vegetables that we know today. This plant is Brassica oleracea, more commonly known as the mustard plant. Now, I'm going to give you three guesses on why it's called that, and the first two don't count. Anyway, as well as being the plant which seeds is used to make mustard, it also gave us kale, broccoli, cauliflower, kohlrabi, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts. This right here is kohlrabi, by the way. Don't worry, I didn't know what it was either. It's easier if we think about this as if it was a family tree. The mustard plant is way up here as the great-great-great-grandfather. A little farther down the line is what we call kale. His cousin is Brussels sprouts. Kale was bred to have larger leaves, while Brussels sprouts was bred for large lateral buds. Fun fact, the lateral buds are the ones that grow on the side of the plant. The ones that grow on top are called terminal buds. Kale's dad had an affair and created broccoli by breeding for large stems and flowers. So kale and broccoli are kind of like half siblings, I guess. Kale had two kids. One was bred for large stem and became kohlrabi. The other we will call Jane. Jane had a kid who was bred for large terminal buds, and that kid was cabbage. Meanwhile, broccoli had another kid, cauliflower, which was bred to have large flower clusters. That's a confusing family tree. Also, while I was doing research for this project, I found a plant called elongated mustard, and I thought that was funny, so I wanted to shoehorn it in here somewhere. So it's going to be an estranged cousin off to the side there. But that really makes you think. There's this large and ongoing debate about whether GMOs are healthy for you or not. But these plants would be seen as organic, like kale, were modified as well, just through selective breeding. The only difference is now we have a better technology to do it easier. So really, there shouldn't be a problem with GMOs. It's just the whole stigma around something created in a lab. I think it's also a very good model for evolution. Just being able to see how much a thing can change from one evolutionary point to another. For example, here's the mustard plant, and then here's cabbage. There are some similarities, but all in all, it's very different. But one came from the other. This could be used in a classroom to try and explain to kids how things can change from evolutionary points, because it's very difficult to think about specific genes changing when you see such a physical thing being different, even though it was the ancestor. It makes it a lot easier to understand. Anyway, I hope that I've ruined these vegetables for you forever. I hope that every time you bite into a piece of celery, you remember that it's related to whatever this thing is. I still don't know what kohlrabi's used for, but it exists. Have a good day, everyone. I hope that's good enough.